In our last video, I spoke earlier on about the tips and etiquettes surrounding every job interview. And these tips were general tips that surrounds every job interview, be it a secretarial interview, an HR interview, an accountant position interview, a human resource manager position interview, and any position. The tips I shared in my last video was about general tips and etiquettes surrounding every job interview. In today's session, I'll be speaking about questions and answers concerning job interviews and job applications. Generally, there are no specific questions for any Generally, there are no specific questions for every job interview. For instance, questions that may be asked in a secretarial interview will differ from questions that will be asked in an accountant's interview. So the two positions, the questions that will be asked may vary. So therefore, there are no specific questions and answers for every job interview. You get it? So, a graphic designer's job interview will differ from a website designer's job interview. The questions that will be asked in the graphic designer's position won't be the same questions that will be asked in the website designer's position interview. This is what I have to say concerning questions and answers of interviews. There may be similarities. For instance, the interviewer may ask you why they should hire you. And the same question may be true at the other position the other person is applying for. For instance, if you are applying for an accountant's position, the interviewer may ask you to tell him or her about yourself. The same question may be thrown at someone else in an HR position to tell the interviewer about him or herself. These are the common similarity questions among job interviews. Tell me about yourself. Why should we hire you? And any other questions that may be deemed necessary. There are no specific questions for interview sessions. Like I said earlier, the questions that will be asked in an HR job interview will differ from that of an accountant's position, but there are general tips and etiquettes that surround every job interview. I shared about 10 tips and etiquettes that surround every job interview. So in case you missed that, you can get it from my previous videos. This is what I have to say concerning questions and answers that surround job interviews. So therefore, there are no specific questions about or that surrounds every job interview. Questions differ from each interview session. There are no specific questions for every job interview, but there are tips and etiquettes that surround every job interview. This is what I have to say. At AG Professional Services, we do it right. You can subscribe to our channel for more tips about interview sessions, CV writing, and any other job requirement document you can think of. At AG Professional Services, we do it right. Subscribe for more.